There was an opportunity to brand cricket beyond sport. Now I did that, but at that time I was stopped by the BCCI. In 2005, England, the first T20 match was played, but we started playing those short format cricket, 20 overs, 25, 30 overs. In 1997 is when I started. When they stopped me from doing it, it converted into an intellectual property called ICL, supported by Zee and Mr. Kapil Dev. And then BCCI, therefore, adopted my idea of 1997 of cricketainment, shut down ICL and started IPL with Mr. Lalit Modi. You like IPL because it's entertaining. When it's branded and gives you entertainment like IPL does, it's like watching a massive Hollywood, Bollywood movie for those 2.5 hours, 3 hours. It's fun, and it did. That's exactly what I was trying to do in 1997. So the good thing for you to know is that if you have an idea like this, times have changed now. At that time, Mr. Jagmohan Dalmia, the president of BCCI, stopped me from creating that idea, which I executed 60 to 70 times, into an intellectual property, which now is IPL. My name is Shailendra Singh, and in my life, I have done 23 creative successful startups in 23 years. In the field of media, communication, sports marketing, talent management, motion pictures, music festivals, and whatnot. Guess why? Because I dreamt and I did it. Khwab dekho, pura karo. Do you want to know how to create intellectual properties and successful businesses out of intellectual properties made in India for the world? Here goes the story. So let's start with the first one that is most relevant right now, which is IPL. IPL is a brand which is valued at $20 billion now and consumed by hundreds of countries across the planet. That's the reality. So here goes the story, how to create an intellectual property made in India for the world and even ensure that it's a commercial success. So starting with cricket first, IPL. Going back in time in 1997, I created the first short format cricketainment product, which gradually progressed to become IPL. So the journey began with me understanding that there was an opportunity to brand cricket beyond sport. Now I did that. I did about 60 matches, which I called as cricketainment. But at that time, I was stopped by the BCCI, and that particular germ of an idea, that spark, converted first into ICL. In 2005, in England, the first T20 match was played, but we started playing those short format cricket, 20 overs, 25, 30 overs. In 1997 is when I started it. When they stopped me from doing it, it converted into an intellectual property called ICL, supported by Zee and Mr. Kapil Dev. Then the same ICL was banned again by BCCI, and then BCCI therefore adopted my idea of 1997 of cricketainment, shut down ICL and started IPL with Mr. Lalit Modi. Now that's the true story. Go down memory lane, Google it, find out, and you'll realize it. But the fact is that I had a small dream of converting a sport into entertainment. That's exactly what has happened. Be true to yourself and tell me you like IPL because it's entertaining. You call cricket a religion in India, but the fact of the matter is you like to watch cricket, consume cricket when it's entertaining, when two countries play with each other. When it's branded and gives you entertainment like IPL does. It's like watching a massive Hollywood, Bollywood movie for those 2.5 hours, 3 hours. It's fun. That's why there's music playing, DJ, timeout. All this drama is created. Why? Colored clothing, different rules. Why? To entertain you. And it did. That's exactly what I was trying to do in 1997. So the good thing for you to know is that if you have an idea like this, times have changed now. At that time, Mr. Jagmohan Dalmia, the president of BCCI, the late Mr. Jagmohan Dalmia, stopped me from creating that idea, which I executed 60 to 70 times, into an intellectual property, which now is IPL. Never mind. But what you and me to understand, that from India you can create more, but somehow for some strange reason, the largest democracy in the world, the youngest population in the world, we're not a land of inventors. We're a land of traders. We're not a land of creators. We just like to make money. But remember, what you'll be remembered for is not all the money and the wealth that you have, but the legacy that you leave behind. And therefore, I didn't get depressed. One, this particular dream of converting cricket into cricketainment and then creating a brand of that cricket, I couldn't fulfill it, but India did, and we have IPL today. So, started the journey with Sunburn then. I said, hang on, I want to create a music festival out of India for the world. But guess what the challenge was? We needed DJs. Of course, we kept 40% balance of Indian DJs on the lineup, but 60% we need, because still India was in that zone of looking up to the West. That is a fact, right? Those are the days when we looked at Coca-Cola and Levi's, and we were always mesmerized with international fashion, international lifestyle, international music. So we needed big headliners. But those headliners like the Guettas and the Hardwells and the Martin Garrix and Armin van Buuren, all these top DJs of the world were getting paid in euros and dollars. But we wanted to pay them in rupees. And they always thought, I remember this incident when I went for a meeting and I spoke in English and asking them to give me, the agency to give me their DJs for India for the Festival of Sunburn, and they said, oh my God, aap to bahut achhe Angrezi bol lete ho. You speak fluent English. So I said, I laughed and I said, yes, we are the land of snake charmers and elephant, and we speak fluent English, and our GDP at that time was 8.6. I said, I've got a checkbook, so let's do business and let's not talk about my language and the power of English that I can speak. So that was an interesting beginning that I had. But imagine that Sunburn was such a tough task to do, because if a David Guetta was getting 1 million pounds or 1 million euros, why would he come for 1 million rupees? So Sunburn was started in the year one. The season one, we had Axwell and Carl Cox. We had to pay them the same price that they were getting paid in Europe and America. That was the challenge, because you as a fan, I wanted to charge you in rupees. You didn't want to pay 200 pounds to go to a festival. You wanted to pay 900 rupees. You were not even willing to pay 500 rupees in the initial years. So the toughest challenge was to sell the idea of India. How did I do it? So as an entrepreneur, as a person, you want to run a successful business and you have a great idea, how do you back it up? Every crisis has an opportunity. Every closed door has an open window. And every closed window has an open roof. Never give up. So I didn't give up. And guess what I told them? I said, listen, I can't afford to pay you £1 million, but I can pay you £500,000. And for the other £500,000, I have the largest digital population in the world, in India. Yes, you may throw Chinese numbers at me, but China is not a democracy. We are a progressive democracy. I have the largest youth population, the largest digital population. So guess what? When you are converting fans, your cost of conversion of a fan internationally in America and Europe is say €2 or 1.5 euros. But when you come to India, because we're an emotional country and we are dying for international music and entertainment and international exposure, we will give you millions of fans. And now you quantify that in financial terms. So the reason we were able to bring all the big acts in the initial years, because that was the troubled time. Today it's easy. Every promoter is bringing an international act with the logic that they may not get the same money that they're getting in Las Vegas and London and in Japan, but they're carrying back millions of fans, which today is a currency. Having fans digitally is a currency. You pay for them, right? You pay for followers today. True? So we really had something that they wanted, and they had something that we wanted. And this is how Sunburn, initial years of 3-4 years, we were able to attract and then get the big acts like Deadmau5 and Swedish House Mafia and whatnot, and we were able to do that. It was a tough journey for me to sell my nation, sell the potential of our country as a landscape, because they thought we were a land of snake charmers and elephants, and they were surprised that I speak English. But you know what? I'm a proud Indian, and I was super excited to do this for my nation. And guess what? With all their hard work, I can say with a sense of a lot of joy and happiness that we did create an intellectual property from India for the world and ensure to bring the entire world to India. And that's what the story of Sunburn is. If you like this story, put your comments down. Let's have a conversation digitally, and then I'll tell you more stories. But remember one thing, never give up. If you have a dream, you can do it. One closed door, many open windows. तो अगर ख्वाब देखा है तो पूरा तो ज़रूर करना है.